Hello, my name is Olivia Darley, and I am a student physical therapist at Thomas Jefferson University, and I'm here to talk to you about your home exercise program for your baby with torticollis. So, if your baby has limited left rotation, that means they have more trouble looking to their left side than they do to their right, and they typically will prefer to look to their right. So you want to help increase their left rotation, and one way to do that is stretching. So you can stretch them in the cuddle position, which means that you will be taking your baby and you will face them so that their body is facing you. Now you can do this standing up or sitting down, but sitting down allows you to use both your hands and get a little better of a stretch. So you'll rest their body against your leg and encourage them to look to their left with toys or something to draw their attention that way. And then you will simply allow them to rest against your chest while they're sitting on your lap. And then you use one hand to stabilize their shoulders, because you don't want them lifting their shoulder and turning their whole body. You want them just turning their head. So you stabilize their shoulders, and then you take the other hand and you just gently apply a pressure at their head to increase how far they're looking. Be mindful of their ears and their jaw when you're applying the pressure. And you want to hold for about 30 seconds. Now, a normal rotation for a baby is past their shoulder. They can get past their chin can go past their shoulder, and so you don't have to be worried about pushing too hard. You can always compare to the other side if you would like to see how far they can go. If your baby has tightness, they may not get that far, so you have to base it on your baby and how much they can tolerate the stretch. And you want to hold for about 30 seconds, and then you can relax. Now, if your baby can tolerate this position, this is a great position to allow contact naps in if you do contact naps at home. So you can let the baby fall asleep in this position without doing so much stretching. Just do a gentle stretch by having them look that way while you are supporting them. And then once they are asleep, you may be able to get a little more of a stretch into left rotation. And that is one way to increase how far they can look to the left. So another option for a left rotation stretch would be having your child lay flat on the floor on their back and encouraging them to look to the left by placing toys and such on their left. So once your child's attention is to the left and they are looking as far as they can to the left, you will simply hold down their right shoulder to prevent them from rolling or lifting, and just apply a gentle pressure to the left side of their face, being mindful of their ear and not pushing hard on their jaw, but just gently on the side of their face to increase how far they are looking. And again, you want to hold for about 30 seconds. Some children may tolerate this better than others. Some may prefer the stretch that you do when holding them. So if your baby has a right head tilt, it means that their right ear is towards their right shoulder, and that is kind of the resting position of your baby's head. One reason that could happen is because of tightness in some neck muscles on the right side of your baby's neck that is keeping their head tilted towards the right. So you want to try and stretch those muscles by pushing the baby's head to be tilted towards the left. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your baby and you're going to tilt their body so that they are leaning towards their right side. You're going to take your left hand, you're going to hook it through your baby's legs and go up and grab onto your baby's shoulder, letting their body rest on your forearm. You're going to pin their shoulder with that left hand so that they can't shrug their shoulder up. You want to keep it down. And then you're going to take your right hand and very gently apply a pressure to the side of your baby's head, being mindful of their ear, and push their head so that their left ear is going towards their left shoulder. Now you want to try and hold this position for 30 seconds roughly, and you want to go until you feel slight resistance, and that's where you'll hold. Now, some babies tolerate this position better than others. Some may be very fussy with this. It does tend to get better as the baby gets more exposure to stretching, but if your baby can't tolerate this position, you can also relax your hold and just have the baby resting their head on your forearm while still holding their shoulder with the other hand, and just apply a lighter stretch to the side. Babies can also sleep in this position if it is comfortable enough for them and you do contact naps. This is another position you can have them do a contact nap in to help get a slight stretch while they're napping. but that is one way to help decrease the tightness of the right side of their neck. Another way to stretch your baby into left side bend if they have a right tilt is by placing your baby flat on their back on the floor or on a mat, and then you will use your left hand to pin their right shoulder down. So again, it's to prevent them from shrugging their shoulder up. And then you'll use your right hand to gently guide their head so their left ear is going towards their left shoulder. Again, pinning their right shoulder to prevent them from shrugging it up. You'll go till you feel resistance, and then you will hold for about 30 seconds. And that is another way you can stretch to help with a right head tilt. For your child that struggles looking to the left, in addition to stretching, you also want to work on encouraging them to look to the left throughout the day. So one way you can do that is by putting them in sitting. Now this can be sitting on the floor if they can sit by themselves, or you can have them on your lap if they need more support. And you want to hold their right shoulder. You want to do this to prevent them from turning their whole body to follow a toy. You want them just turning their head, not their trunk. So you are holding their shoulder, and you can place a toy, a high value item, something that will draw their attention in front of their face, let them see it, and then encourage them to track it to look as far to the left as they can go. Now, once you've gotten to as far as they can go, you want to hold the toy there so that they hold their vision that far and hold their head as far to the left as possible for as long as possible. A lot of kids will not be able to hold very long and will start looking forward, will stop looking at the toy. So you may have to regain their attention and bring them back to that end range, but you want them to hold that end range for as long as they can to work on building up that endurance to looking to the left. Now you can do that in the sitting position. You can also, if you have an older child who is standing and likes to stand, you can do it in standing as well. You just, again, want to make sure they're not turning their whole body, they're just turning their head. And then for your younger kids, you can also just lay them on their backs and place all of their toys on their left side, something making noises on their left side, to draw their attention that way and have them hold their gaze to the left so that they are turning their head to the left for an extended period of time. You can also do this one in tummy time. But you just want to encourage them to look to the left as much as possible throughout the day. For your baby with a right head tilt, you can also work on strengthening the left side of their neck. So the way to do this is you'll put them into a weight shift position. So you can have the baby sitting on your lap, or you can do this standing, and you're just going to tilt the baby so that their body is leaning to the right side. You can support under their arm. And you want them lifting their head towards the left. So you want the baby looking forward, so place toys in front or go in front of a mirror, something to get the child to look forward. And then you want to make sure that their left ear is lifting towards their left shoulder and they're not resting their head on their right shoulder. And you want to hold this for around 30 seconds. You could do shorter or longer depending on your child's ability to hold their head up. And then you can give them a break by going back straight and then go back into it. But this is a good way for them to strengthen the left side of their neck, which may help them hold their head in a more central position and not have them tilting to the right.